And welcome back to Newsmax Now. I'm Miranda Kahn. Former UN ambassador and Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young is resting at home today after some pretty scary moments yesterday afternoon. Police say a cement truck fell over on the civil rights icon's car in Atlanta, Georgia. The 83-year-old was taken to the hospital as a precaution and released last night. The truck driver was cited for driving too fast. About 25 gallons of oil spilled during that crash. President Obama's library finds a home. The University of Chicago's bid to host the president's archives in a museum beat out others from Hawaii and New York. President Obama says he chose the Windy City because that's where he met his wife and raised his children. Texas lawmakers prepare new measures to defend the state's ban on same-sex marriage. Supporters say the laws are necessary to protect religious freedom, but opponents argue they deny equal treatment to gay people. The Supreme Court's nationwide ruling on gay marriage is expected to be handed down next month. Also in Texas, take a look at this new cell phone footage. It shows a twister that formed there over the weekend. A series of deadly tornadoes hit there as well as in Arkansas, leaving 5 people dead and injuring many more. Governors of both states have now declared disasters as residents try to pick up the pieces. A Pablo Picasso painting sets a new world record after it sold for nearly $180 million last night at auction. The painting is part of a 15-work series Picasso created in the 1950s.
It's one of the most exciting new frontiers in medicine. Senator Murray and I are working on an initiative to ensure that our federal agencies are equipped to review the medical products and processes produced by this kind of cutting-edge medicine so that American patients aren't waiting on the sidelines because regulatory science can't keep up.
But is that actually happening? Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee there during a hearing about improving disease treatment. But our next guest says overregulation is slowing down advancements in medicine. He is a scholar at the American Enterprise Institute, a Harvard-trained hematologist, and author of Pharmaphobia: How the Conflict of Interest Myth Undermines American Medical Innovation. Thomas Stossel, MD, we welcome you to Newsmax TV.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you with us. Talk a little bit more about this myth you speak of, and who is the biggest, who is perpetrating this myth the most?
Well, let me first say that why I wrote the book, Pharmaphobia. There are facts that I find people just don't know. First is that I'm a physician. I've been in practice for almost 50 years, and medicine is incredibly better today. All you hear about are the problems in healthcare, but it's immensely better. And the reason it's immensely better is because of the tools that healthcare practitioners have to provide patients. And those tools dominantly come from the medical device and the pharmaceutical companies. And very importantly, they come with great difficulty and at great expense. So as I said, people don't seem to be aware of that, and I tell about that in my book. Now, for the past 30 years, folks I call pharmaphobes deny those facts. And worst of all, they claim that if physicians or medical researchers work with industry, which a partnership that brings us those great tools, the drugs and the devices, they become corrupt, they lose concern of their reputations, and they do bad research or they harm patients. That's wrong, and that's why I wrote the book, to set the record straight.
Well, I'm thinking of Dr. Oz. He's taken a lot of heat for some of this stuff lately, but also there's been other folks who have argued that there, of course, is a lot of regulation here, but we still have medical product recalls. Are you saying that those folks are focusing too much on the negative as opposed to the advancements we've seen in medicine?
Absolutely. Now, the FDA takes a lot of heat, but I got to say, it's the best game in town for determining the effectiveness and safety of products. And going to how the problem of regulation, projects that look really good in a test tube or in animals, when they get into clinical trials, 9 out of 10 fail. And just to put some numbers on it, it takes on average 16 years and over $2 billion to get an FDA approval.
Yeah.
I don't know how to make that easier. And the reason it's so hard is because human beings are unpredictable.
Yeah.
You know, we can make jumbo jets that fly themselves, great flat screen TVs, because we engineered them, that we can know how to fix them. But we humans evolved, and the reason we're here is because we're unpredictable.
Dr. Stossel, we got
Bacteria
about
can
15 seconds left to go. I just want to get your take real quick before we have to part ways. Obamacare, how devastating do you think that might be to impacting this type of market forces that have helped healthcare in the past?
Well, specifically, what Obamacare has done is stuck a 2.3% tax on medical devices. That is going to slow innovation.
And we
there's
know
a
that
really
some members of
regulation.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Doctor, but we were coming up against a hard break, a commercial break here, and we know there are members in Congress working on that specific aspect, and we'll see if they can advance that. That's been cited as a real problem area. But you can get more and learn more about Dr. Stossel and his new book, Pharmaphobia. You can get it on Amazon. We thank you very much for your time, sir.